let's go back to when you quit your job and started the process of building a company, day one.
Yep.
How do you go about it?
If you got a passion about something and you want to try a business, my best advice to you is find somebody that you can work for prior to making that venture and
Mm,
learn everything that you can. I mean, if they're asking for volunteers, again, this is your time. This is what you want to do, and it's going to require it. So if they're asking for volunteers for overtime or shift or a different duty, that's you.
mm,
Do that for a year and really immerse yourself in it before you start the business so you have a good idea. The biggest pitfalls come when you try to start the business, and it's the back end stuff you don't know about. You
yeah.
got this dream, you got this passion, but you don't know the back end stuff, and you get it started, and then all of a sudden you start getting hit with dollar signs and you're like, shit. And it never gets off the ground because poor planning is poor performance.
Mm,
Simple as that. And chance favors the prepared mind. So I subscribe to everything relevant to my business. And I'll take articles with headlines that are relevant to me and I'll constantly read them. I read probably 20, 30 articles a day that relate to
mm,
my business, whether it be market trends, commodity shifts, pricing, laws, rules, regulations, speculation, autonomous driving trucks, you name it. I mean, I'm constantly in that content because that's my business. Like you said, if you stop developing yourself professionally, you're on the way out. You're on the way out. The first goal was to not fall on my face. I'll be
mm,
perfectly honest with you. I was nervous as anybody could be. It was a it was a huge it was a risk, but it almost wasn't a risk. And
mm,
here's why. Um, I was able to go out and get another job, right? Just like anybody that's starting a business. So
mhm.
yeah, you're gonna have those butterflies in your stomach, and it's gonna be tough to overcome that. But you got to remember, even if you fail, it's not the end of the fucking world.
All right.
Sun's gonna rise tomorrow, and you're gonna get back on your feet.
Mhm,
So initially, I didn't want to fail, and then I said, what do we need to get the business off the ground? Well, I know I need business in order to get it off the ground. So before we even open the business, while we're in the process of setting up insurances, licenses, transportation management software, integrations, electronic payments, all that stuff. While we were doing that, I was making contacts with individuals that I knew we could drum up some business from.
mm,
So in order to open doors, you got to have some revenue coming in immediately. So while I'm working on the back end stuff, I'm also putting in place, even though I'm not able to do business yet, business for the future. You know what I mean? I'm having those conversations. I'm getting it out there. I'm marketing it already before it's even in conception. And we're at the ground level, but I'm already hitting the ground running. You know what I
mm,
mean? So that's where I started. I knew what we needed legally, and that's what you have to dive into is what do I need legally? Is it an LLC? Is it a corporation? What kind of insurance do I need? Do I need any kind of contracts? What do those look like? Can I get a lawyer to draft them? Can I do them myself? What does my equipment look like? Bank accounts, you name it, computer, whatever. So you have to get all that in line. And then again, you set a timeline. It shouldn't be when we get things together, we're going to go live. It should be, okay, I've thought about it. Like you said, not a week out. I want to do something. I have a pretty good idea of what path I'm going to do. What is a realistic timeline to get that done, to launch that? If you're really going to go all in, what's that realistic timeline? It may be 1 month, it may be 2 months. For me, it was 7 months. It took that long to get it in line and wait out my
mm,
non-compete. That was just the reality, but that gives you time to do it. So if you're looking at starting a business, the best time to do it is not to up and quit your job. It's to start getting it together while you're currently employed so that
mhm.
you're ready for that transition.
Right.
And you also need to make a conscious realization that you may be starving artist for a little bit. So
Mm,
you need to have some money saved up to be prepared for that. So
mm,
those are a couple of things that you want in the back of your mind and that I had in the back of my mind going in. I knew that I needed some money in the back of my pocket for bills off the get go. I was planning for 5 months with little to no pay.
mm.
And then, like I said, those other things, getting everything in line and going at it. So I did it a little bit, I dove in, but I would probably go a little bit gentler. But again, remember, it doesn't matter because at the end of the day, you can always start over.
Right.
You know what I mean? It was never off the ground. It was never successful to begin with. You shouldn't be afraid to start.